Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. We are on Ring in a domination match, and we're top tier in the Japanese Tier 6 cruiser Omono in early access. I'm recording this on the Eclipse Day. I didn't really look at that thing because, look, you've seen one eclipse, you've seen them all, right? But I hope everybody enjoyed that. Anyway, let's talk about the Omono really quickly. Wiki.wargaming.net says development of Oyoto-class cruisers, the flagship of submarine squadrons, into full-fledged light cruisers with 4 triple-gun turrets that house 155mm guns. So looking at Oyoto on Wikipedia, Oyoto, light cruiser built for the IJN during World War II, only ship of her class completed before the end of the war, obsolete upon completion. Oyoto's armament, 2 triple 155mm turrets. So this ship has 4 triple 155 turrets. So are those triple turrets? I hope so. Yeah. Anyway, the Omono must mean totally made up in Japanese because the ship I see, Oyoto, doesn't have torpedo armament and certainly doesn't have as many turrets and rifles as this cruiser has. All right, we're treating it like an HE spammer, as you can see, due to the turning torpedoes. Rather long dead zone before the torpedoes arm next to the ship. Please keep that in mind. In close quarters, you will find your torpedoes do not arm, and if they do not arm, they will not do any damage. As a skilled player of destroyers and battleships, I am keeping my distance from the enemy ships and turning away whenever they aim at me. We aren't going to have a problem setting fires in the ship, and I recommend using he whenever possible. That's the way I say HE. As you can see, the he is working well, and we're dipping and dodging enough to avoid serious injury, hopefully. Yeah, as you can see, we didn't take a ton of damage there. I mean, it is a down-tier battleship, I'm sure. If we were down tier, as opposed to the New Mexico being down tier, maybe I'd be singing a different tune. Maybe I'd be back in the port. This is my first match in the Omono, and probably one of my last matches in the Omono. I'm sorry if the background noise is loud. I have the window open because it's nice out today. Some jerkwad on a chopper was making noise. He doesn't know I'm making media here. All right, so let's talk about something Omono is going to be really good at least with this build. It's going to be great at hunting destroyers. You can see I have 5 charges of sonar, and we've got 12 guns that shoot Japanese HE, 4 times series 12. So, I mean, why wouldn't you be great at hunting destroyers? So I kind of have an anti-destroyer plus sonar and an anti-carrier build going on in the Oyoto here. I'm not really sure I would use the new yet to have gotten commander who's all things torpedo in this ship anyway. I think Makawa is a really good fit for this ship as it is, as you can see. Now, we will go over that. I did change the commander build slightly from what it normally is in Japanese cruisers for this video. And we'll talk about that after the match. Here we are going to light up a destroyer, but he's already dead thanks to our destroyer. We still have about 30 seconds of sonar left. Here is another enemy destroyer who is taking damage, and we're going to light him up here and really just take him down to the very last before somebody else gets that kill. We're going to turn in. There are no torpedoes. Still shooting at New Mexico. I am going to cap this base with impunity. Even though I'm spotted, even though someone is aiming at me, due to my ducking and dodging, or maybe just really bad aim, none of those shells are going to hit me. And we're just going to keep on motoring here. Keep on shooting the HE. Keep that bow tilted towards the enemy. Keep setting fires. We're getting near 50,000 damage. Another really poorly aimed salvo from the New Mexico commander. Totally whiffs. And so, like I said, we are capping this base with impunity. And I'm already turning my attention elsewhere on the map. At least for a minute. Because I am not too worried about New Mexico over here. Alright, now he's going to give me the other side of the ship to set on fire. I will take him up on that. As you can see, I think we're in single digits. Another fire on New Mexico. I don't know how I didn't get an arsonist medal out of this shit. But there is the solo base cap in Omono. And there is some more HE damage on New Mexico. We're just going to tilt the bow back in. We finally gets a hit on us. That's okay. We'll give him all 4 turrets of HE. And there are some more torpedoes for good measure. And we are going to continue our turn. And it's a good thing we did. By doing so, we dodged most of incoming salvo. And while we are continuing to torch New Mexico, and he continues to miss, and I'm really not going to be looking at the screen when I do this, let's go back to wiki.wargaming.net to give you some stats really quickly. Max dispersion, 134 meters. HE shell velocity and AP shell velocity, 925 meters per second. HE and AP shell weight, 55.87 kilos. Let's get specific. Good grief. There is our first kill. We burned down New Mexico. We're just going to do a loop around this island here. There is a Helena out there amongst some other ships, but the blue team is kicking some butt here. We've got 3 of the 4 caps, and we have a significant lead in ships left alive. That lead is going to dissipate somewhat in this latter part of the match. Set Helena on fire over the mountain. Meanwhile, they got a kill to draw a little bit closer. So, although so far and probably into the future, not going to have a ton of luck with the torpedoes. You know, the turning torpedoes, I will admit I'm not a master of those, but I believe while they are still in the arming arc, you can turn them using your D-pad or whatever. But once they get to the armed stage, then they will just go in a straight line. Again, it is a rather large arming window, so I urge a lot of caution. Shoot the torpedoes before you need to shoot them. They don't have a quick reload, in my opinion, so you're not necessarily going to be cranking them out left and right, even with that commander who is yet to enter the port. Your bread and butter is going to be this HE. You've got some good HE, good at setting fires, as you can see in this match, as you can see against Helena. And you've got a lot of sonar, and you've got your choice of fighter plane or DFAA. I just tell you, I'm so down on fighter planes because they rarely do anything other than fly around your ship. And so without the benefit of a smoke screen, I don't see the use of a fighter plane. And so that's why I have the DFAA mounted. And you know, Wargaming is going to continue to try to push carriers on the player base at large. So that being said, that's why I built this thing with the DFA on there. All right, some more destroyer hunting. Here is Jervis. We are lighting him up. Full salvos of HE. Set him on fire. We are going to skate by the island here. He is dead anyway, so it just doesn't matter. But it is now 3-3. So it's time to see what the kimono is really capable of. I'm sorry, I just think this ship should have a different name. Like the name of the ship that existed. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Wargaming has access to a secret stash of documents that the rest of us aren't privy to where the ship really did exist. I don't know. I'm trusting Wikipedia, so that's probably a failing in my research. But I typed in Omono Japanese cruiser to Google and looked at a lot of links, and none of them came back with anything. Whereas Oyodo, or Yon, whatever it is, the other one, Oyodo, came back with several links. So, I mean, what do you know? Anyway, hey, by the way, look at this, another base cap. I do build into my concealability. As you can see, it's 9.2 on ships that on cruisers that have good concealment. I do build into it, and this is where it's going to be helpful. Now, obviously, we were behind that island because I'm not dumb, and I don't have a smoke screen. So we'll get another base cap. We'll help our team maintain our lead. There is an Aoba who's just a breath away from dying. There is a battleship, and I think there is another cruiser, maybe to the left, who just got killed. Nice kill by our Hot Saharu. I'm just going to shoot blindly, hoping to get Aoba. And unfortunately for me, I think we do get a hit on Aoba. Never mind. All right, we launched torpedoes into the midst. We are not going to do anything here. I'm blind firing again, just trying to kill Aoba. There's some hits on Aoba. How did that not kill him? And initially I'm like, oh, let's turn in. Let's go finish this guy off. As I shoot again, and those just do some landscaping. But then I'm like, hey, wait a minute. His friend is a battleship, and I might not want to mess with that. So I'm going to turn right back in and start capturing. What base is this? Alpha. And I can see the enemy is, or was briefly capturing Charlie, which is right there. About 1.5 inches from my aiming circle. So again, we're going to use the island here. And initially I'm like, maybe he's going to come around the island. So I did hit another sonar charge. I have 5 sonar charges with my build, so I kind of had a sonar to waste here at the end. So I'm like, whatever, let's burn some sonars. Let's see if he's coming around the mountain. And that isn't going to happen. Nope. That is not going to happen. All right, there's the enemy ship. It is a Tennessee. He gets a Confederate medal. I will keep that in mind. By the way, we have 93,000 damage. I mean, not great, but for me in a cruiser, I think that's pretty good. We're going to have more damage before the game's over. We're not done yet. We are just trying to get another solo base cap, and then we'll figure out what to do with the Tennessee here. I just don't want this destroyer to stray a little too close to the sun there and get killed, so I'm advising him to keep back. We do get the solo base cap, and we are maneuvering to engage Tennessee. I think I'm going to flip around right here because I think that I would not ever catch up to him if I went the other way. So we're going to turn around because at this point, what do I have to lose? The first match. We're going to move to contact, and we're going to start by using our torpedoes. Boy, this ship would be so nice with the smoke screen. Maybe the Tier 7 has a smoke screen. That being said, I did buy 5 crates to get this ship. I am not anticipating going fishing for, I think it's Shamanto, whatever the next cruiser up the line is. That one's totally imaginary. At least this one was somewhat based on a real ship. Here I'm thinking about trying to get the other torpedo launchers into action. But right then we see the Tennessee, and I'm not willing to give up that much of a broadside to do it. So we're going to fire HE and immediately turn away. There's the high caliber medal. We are not even at 100,000 damage. There's a torpedo strike. Confederate medal, 109,000 damage. And we're getting some cap defended flags here. And we're just going to keep showing the bow to the Tennessee, or the stern, to the Tennessee. I'm not willing to expose more of the ship right now because I have a feeling he could smash me into oblivion. All right, here comes his salvo. We're going to take a little bit of damage. I don't know what's outside my window, but it's very loud. And there is the last salvo, and I think time is going to run out here before we can get the kill. How unfortunate. All right, nothing against the guy with the big rig, but I got to shut the window. All right, here we are on the victory screen. Confederate medal, high caliber medal. We ended up with 120,793 total damage. A lot of main battery hits, just one torpedo strike, just one kill. We set, is that 10 fires? 6 cap defended flags, 3 solo base caps. And as you can see, over 12,000 ship XP and commander XP in Omono. Look at that. I'm not even a cruiser player. So yes, being top tier helped, but at the end of the day, I am pretty happy with this match. All right, here we are at the top of the board. 3276 base XP, 2 medals, 1 big kill, leading the way for our team in the victory. We denied the Tennessee a Kraken, so it's a good thing I didn't show him all that broadside. He would have lost anyway, but still, I don't like being the last ship for a Kraken. All right, here in the port, as you can see, early access, we've got aiming systems mod 1, steering gears mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and why can't you do that after the match? And we're fully upgraded. And that ship, yeah, I probably won't try to get that in early access. So, sorry, not sorry. I don't like cruisers. All right, here in the loadout, 5 charges of the sonar, as you can see, 4.3 kilometers, and 3 charges of DFAA. Again, I think the fighter plane is largely worthless on a lot of ships, so I put DFAA on there. Your mileage may vary. If you had a smoke screen, then maybe I would have had the fighter plane. All right, Epic Ship XP Booster, the standard permanent camouflage, and the 1-year strong flag. Specs 32,200 hit points and a 4% torpedo damage reduction with our build. Got those 4 triple 155 millimeter turrets, 14.9 kilometer firing range, 11.5 second reload, 15.5 second turn time. HE shells 2650 max damage with a 10% fire chance. AP shells 3300 max damage. 4 twin 100 millimeter secondaries, 4.7 kilometer firing range, 2.9 second reload. HE shells 1700 max damage with a 6% fire chance. 2 quad launchers reload every, I think that says 85 seconds. Max damage 20,976. They have a 13.5 kilometer range, really slow, 57 knots. Detectability looks like 1,700 meters, maybe. AA defense, pretty good for this ship. Your secondaries are dual purpose, and they go out to 5 kilometers. Your best AA is the 26 triple 25 millimeter gun emplacements that do 159 damage per second. So more around the ship rather than you providing a blanket cover of AA for nearby ships. Maneuverability, 34.7 knots, 740 meter turning circle, 6.2 second rudder shift time with our build, and concealment. 9.2 on the surface, 6 kilometers from the air, 5.7 when firing in a smoke screen, which you don't have anyway. All right, our only match in Omono, main battery accuracy, 51%. That's not bad. Of course, I would say that for a non-cruiser player, this is a pretty good match. So that's why I didn't play any other ones. All right, looking at the armor viewer, very similar to the other ships of this line. Your Citadel is like combined with the armor belt, and it's got the weird like step up, step down areas. Let's scroll through and find the armor, the actual armor belts. Maybe I already did that. All right, here's your bow, just 16 millimeters, and it covers up the front and rear part of that Citadel there with a quasi-spaced armor type deal. I went looking for this heavier armor, and it was the torpedo bulkhead right there, so don't expect that to do a whole lot for you, in my humble opinion. All right, turrets and barbettes have all the same armor, which is okay, I guess. And this armor I'm about to put on just catches on fire or gets overpenned and you get destroyed. And again, just 16 millimeters. And that is the armor profile of Omono. All right, here's the commander I use. Genichi Mikawa, base trait clandestine, cruiser concealment, Norman Scott for shell grouping, Swirsky for more concealment. And row 1, Ingenious. Row 2, full speed ahead. Here is a change in row 3 from Velocious to Sponge, and a change in row 4 from Steer Clear to Acoustic Chamber. That's how we got 5 charges of sonar. Also, because I'm running fully packed, because I don't think that other legendary skill is very useful at all. Essentially the cruiser version of Farsight. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe down below. Would love to hear what you think about Omono or anything else you want to talk about. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you Thursday with another video.